Let me know when you see it, and there will be a delay on it, but I'm going to keep my microphone open so that people can, so that you can watch it back and still hear me. Oh, you're playing with Mole Man.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, what's quite funny is he was the DPS on the Gibraltar that we've just covered.
Yeah, I play on the team we played yesterday was the lower tier team of the team that this is.
So I know Star and Beans quite well. I used to play with Beans on...
Yeah, Ben's was another trial for it. Me and Ben's were both DPS trials for it. We got a spot for it as well, which is cool.
5,
It's one of these teams.
3, 2, 1.
Star Sable as well. That's a name I've not seen in a while. So, actually the first thing I'm going to ask, what is your hero pool?
So the heroes I can play like to an average or higher level. So there's Hanzo, Kree, Soldier, Ash, Widow, Reaper, Junk,
Don't like push yourself it. Just like the characters you're most comfortable on. It could be like 2 characters.
it's mainly them heroes, so I hit scan with like Hanzo, Junk,
Okay.
Reaper, Sombra.
So the first thing I'd say is you're running a not very good comp. You're running Viana, which I don't like, but you've got the other DPS is on Soldier. So for you, look at that Soldier. Just be aware where he is, because you can't be shooting from the same angle as him. It makes it pointless. This comp, the double hit scan, Cassidy and Soldier basically do the same thing. And that's where kind of they're not really that useful to be played together, unless you're specifically countering a Pharah, which you're lucky that they're running out on. But the way that they work best is by taking completely opposite ends of the map. So as you can see, the Soldier's already taken this off angle, so it is fine. But just keep your eye on him so you know where he is, and just play around where he's positioned. I mean, yeah, good. The first thing I'd say is you've taken a lot of damage from this Pharah, but you've not looked at your team once. So, I mean, there is like the small bit of awareness. I think you know that your team is rotating point. I'm sure there was a cool there as well. You've taken that damage though, basically when you took that first rocket, yeah, you look at the Pharah. It's good to then take the second rocket and look at the Pharah, but you didn't look at the team. So to see where they were, to know where they were. Bloody hell. Nice headshots. Yeah, this is where I'm going to pick you up though. Yeah, you've done a nice amount of damage. You've demeked the Diva. Really well done. The Pharah is here. This is where you and the Soldier need to be able to work together. You both need to be pressuring her. She is in a dog shit position. She's dead. You should kill her. Between you, she should die. She's got no cover. Pharah basically is only useful round sky cover. She has no cover. She's nowhere near cover. She can't boop herself towards cover. She can't boop herself anywhere because she's too far away. She's too far out in the sky. She's probably only just used her jump jets, but that still means that she's here for like at least 3 seconds. She sat here, and not even to ignore that. Not even like just focusing on the fact that the Pharah's there. You know they're on Farah, so you know that Pharah's interesting to you, that you should be looking at her. I like that you take out the lamp and then get the demech, but this is the point where you probably shouldn't be looking forward as much and should have looked behind at the Farah, even if it's just briefly while your team walks forward. because you do walk forward and still find those cleanup kills, but it's only because the soldier found the kill onto the Farah that you managed to get such free reign. Just being like wary of the Farah and not relying on the on the soldier. I said it in the VOD review before, literally, that's just ended. Don't rely on your teammates to do stuff for you. Like, don't rely on the soldier to kill that Farah and just assume you're going to live because the Farah's going to die to the soldier. Because, especially in comp, you'll find that your teammate just won't do that. Won't kill the Farah, and then you're stuck. You're dead. So, just, yeah, having a look. What is your sense?
60, 65.
Do you have any aims moving down, like turned down, or is it all 100?
I think it's all full.
Okay.
Or like most of it. Oh, I think aims moving's full. And then I have something like 50. I'm not too sure.
Okay, so it's my personal thing. I have a very, very high sense. I have 100, and then 94 aims moving.
My main one is 60, 65, and then 100 aim assist strength, 100 aim assist window size, 50 aim assist to ease in, 100 aim smoothing, and then 0 aim ease in.
Okay. Play with your sense a bit. I'd recommend having a high sense. Plainly because
High sense in like any game ever. Like years ago when I was playing COD, I always played on like medium.
yeah, so the advantage to having a higher sense, when you don't just like flick it from 60 to 100 now. Don't do that, because you won't be able to play the game and you will really struggle to get used to it. If every now and then just up both the values by 5 and slowly get used to it. If you feel like it's too high, turn it back down. Just keep trying to turn it up until you get to that 100, because even at 100, it's still hard to turn around, and in Overwatch being able to just turn around is so valuable. But just take some time and adjust your sense higher and higher over time, and get a bit of a higher sense. The reason that actually triggered me is because of this moment right here, where you kind of turn around to look at your Ana, which is a good idea to turn around to walk forwards towards your Ana, and you move quicker walking forwards than you do walking backwards. But I think it's just the speed of which you turn back around and turning around. Like, there's a lot of time. There's like it's half a second, but it could be 0.2 of a second rather than half a second, where you're turning around and being able to react quicker. Like, you can react to something happening behind you and turn around quickly. Like, that's me full lock to the left. It's fast. My sense is fast. If I wanted to turn around, I could turn around that quickly. That's probably even quicker in game, but I could turn around that quickly in game. Whereas you're probably, well, that's a bit slow, but you're probably like that. If you're going to turn around and shoot something behind you, your aim is going to be more solid. And when you are adjusting your sense, you will feel your aim drop off a little bit, but it will come back. Aim is natural. You can train your aim, and you can learn to aim, but most of aiming is natural, and everybody can aim. Everybody can aim. You just don't think about. You just don't have to think about it. So yeah. What is your Ana doing there? You know what? I'm not reviewing the Ana. I'm reviewing you. Yeah, just adjust your sense a little so you can turn around and react better. You do have this high noon now, and I like that. You high noon for the pharmacy, right? Yeah. Yeah, and you got the mercy. Oh, that's unfortunate. And at the same time, you landed a big shatter and managed to clear up the fight. So, yeah, you're doing well so far. You and the soldier are both doing a good job of marking that Farah. She's not even 80% to. She's not even like at barrage already. Like, this is a long way into the fight, and she's not a barrage. That's a small thing, but it's big at the same time. This you said this is tier 3, right? Right, so firstly, in this situation, look at your health. You need to look at your supports and take cover. Just stand here and look at your supports and ask for healing. Do the I need healing ping, whatever that is. Just stand here and ask for healing, because if you re-peak on 38 health against that window and somebody shoots at you, you're dead instantly, which I'm very surprised you don't die to this window visor. You're 48 health and the window visor is almost perfectly in line of sight of you. All he has to do is step to the left. There he is. He's able to shoot you now. Oh wait, no, he's not, but realistically you are very lucky to be alive against that window visor. It's just luck there. That's not... You should be dead, grand scheme of things. Yeah. But at that point your team's dead. It's a hard fight for you to win. That's just yeah, that's a messy engagement from your team, but you could have played it safer and been able to protect your backline from the Farah, because you would have been able to see, you would have seen the Farah coming earlier, and you would have been at full health rather than half health, so you wouldn't, if you'd taken that hit from the Farah, you probably still would have been able to get the kill onto her, because you could have taken the hit. Going into the next fight, something that I really want to enforce is ult tracking. Even if you're not saying it, be aware of who on the enemy team has ults. Who's ulted, who hasn't ulted.
Well, I tried to do it a little bit like at the end, like big fights, just like let's use that fight, what made it happen. So we do it a few times in Reapers games, but that's something I probably do need to like do.
Well, when other people are calling it, if you go into like a Reapers game or you're going to a tier 3 game and somebody else is calling it for you, again, don't just assume that somebody's going to do it every single time. Even if you're not confident on learning the ult tracking, be the person who goes, what ults have they got? Because somebody else will do it. People are a lot of people are better at ult tracking than they think they are, and just don't do it. And sometimes they just need the reminder. As you can see, they've got Barrage, they've got Shatter, and they're close on Bomb. If you're ult tracking, you should know they've just used Window Visor and Valk. They should have the other 3, considering they didn't use any ults to fight before that. So usually you get an ult every 2 fights. You can roughly judge that they're going to have an ult every 2 fights. The higher level ult tracking is then knowing how much the enemy player has done to get their ult, because people obviously get ults quicker when they've done more in fights. So that Farah 100% you should be wary of her having Barrage. If it's not been called, even if you don't call it, you should be aware that she's got Barrage and be looking for it. You do know that Flash goes above the shield, yeah? Yeah. It's gonna sound really rude and really harsh, but you just flash his shield. Oh, I see. Okay, you tried to flick above it, and I think it's another sign of your sense is quite low, because you're reacting quicker than you're able to aim in the game. You're reacting quicker than you're actually physically limited to. So you've given yourself a limitation with your low sense, and honestly, you don't have to turn it up very high. I'm not saying you need to turn it up high, but higher than what it is would be much more beneficial for reacting to things, because reacting... Yeah, work towards it, and yeah, like I said, even if it's like 1 or 2 at a time, yeah. And also, you have them at X and Y? You have them at different senses, don't you?
Yeah.
Try and set them the same first, because when you can look around the same, it's easier, especially considering you run hit scan characters, and if you need to aim at a Farah, looking up and down is just as useful as looking left to right. And sometimes it means getting a flick like that flick over the shield with the flash. It can be the difference between getting that off and not. I like the roll, but God, why is she barraging? See, because of that barrage, this is a winnable fight. Right, no. What's the problem here?
I am looking at 4
It's not strictly that.
I'm on like 40 health.
You're on 73 health. You've had the chance to take cover and retreat. You've lost most of your team. It's the it's the point of then learning, okay, I need to reset. Or not even I need to reset, it's I'm not getting any resources here. I need to rotate back. You can easily take this rotation. This is really dangerous. You're probably going to get killed here. If you don't get killed, it's basically because their soldier hasn't realised that you're stood there on 1 health. Or their Baptiste. These 2 characters are stood here and able to kill you. Look at that. That's a juicy target right there. I would kill that. I'm bad, and I would kill that. So yeah, just be cautious of your health. I think that's something I'm noticing. That's a pattern that's coming up. You're not very aware of your health sometimes, and I think it's more realizing who can kill you on what health. DP, I think you're underestimating the amount of damage the enemy DPS can put out. A soldier.
It's mainly because I've had like a lot of times where I've been able to get away with it, so it's just
Yeah.
like a little habit, so which I need to just get out.
It's especially because you're going up to tier 3 from tier 2. Tier 2 does not punish you to the level tier 3 does.
Yeah.
And realistically you should have died there, but twice the first time was very lucky. The second time it was more them just not noticing. It was less luck. You were you were lucky again, but you could have fully just stayed alive there with a roll, but be more aware of your health at that point. Oh shit, my girlfriend's calling me.
Gotta work on that, eh?
Okay, so beat gets used. I think that's a good beat, and I like this. You make a beeline for that Baptiste. They've used visor, you hug the wall. That's clever. Yeah. That's fine. Only thing I'll say is at the start of that fight, again, comes back to ult tracking. You should know they've got bomb, and so going from cover to cover is really, really important. I think you didn't purposely end up over here to dodge that bomb. You were just here and you were close enough to get here. You weren't ready for that bomb to end up here. So when you know they've got bomb, hug cover. Just kind of hug walls and stuff like that. Because sometimes you can get away with, like you did here, you can just run it. You can make a beeline for this Baptiste, and you're fine. You're safe here. You're completely fine. You got beat armor. You got 4 teammates with you. You're fine. But it's before that when the bomb comes out. If you hug cover, you basically, the best way of describing it is play your life. Play like your life is your actual life. Play like that. You have 250 health in real life. This is you in real life. The last thing you want to do is die. And even if it means landing 5 less shots on the enemy team, if you stay alive, you'll make those 5 less shots. Those 5 lost shots you'll make back later on. Because you're still alive, exactly. Yeah, but good taking cover. They use visor. You use visor. You use nano. You win this round. Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. You're playing well. Just yeah, like I said before, being aware of your health. So you're going to play the Mei here.
3, 2, 1.
So here I call
Capture the objective.
So you called to play the Mei.
yeah.
Are you fairly confident on Mei?
Not really, but I wanted to learn. I wanted to learn it a little bit because of how useful she is.
Okay. So teach you some Mei. Just some Mei theory that you can then apply. How do you want to play Mei? Just tell me. How does Mei want to play?
Close to the right,
Mhm.
and right, and wall off there, Ryan. Walking on him, kill him, and you win.
So that's a very, very basic level. That's a tier 2 basic kind of theory, yeah. Do you have any more on how Mei wants to play?
Slow.
No. Mei wants to play fast. No. Mei wants to play fast. So
Fast and aggressive.
Mei is a really, really aggressive character in Brawl. The wall obviously used to split off, and especially considering you're running a Moira, you want to be playing fast. You want to be taking fights really quickly, finishing fights really quickly. Now you don't know what comp they're on, and the best trick you can learn in Overwatch, just in general on any character, 15 seconds in, look at their comp. It's 15 seconds into the round, you can see their composition. Do it every single time. Because it's invaluable information. Once you know what they're on, you know how to play into them. So yeah, so you're looking to split off their team. It's not strictly Reinhardt. It's not Reinhardt every time, and sometimes you can look for funny little angles. You can also use the wall defensively. Like, the wall doesn't have to be offensive every time, but you want to play quick. So that's really, really well played from your team. Yeah, you went for a wall, you didn't get it off, but sometimes you don't, and then you're hunting for kills, and you're fine just playing up here. You're D.Va fed there. What I'd do here, just try and, yeah, you can either wall off defensively or hold it to go aggressive with. You've got the coalescence, so I just wouldn't even look for a wall. Because when you've got coalescence up, the coalescence obviously line of sight. You don't want to break that line of sight with a wall, and unless you're trying to block a shatter, there's not much point. That's the only downside to that fight. Actually, you're playing it completely fine. The difference is for tier 3, you're just going to have to learn to get those walls off more consistently, and yeah, manage to land that off. That's a good wall. That's a beautiful wall. As soon as he's dead, drop that wall. And okay, so when you get into this melee range, use your slow. Don't use... I know you die almost immediately, and there's nothing you can do about that, but here, rather than shooting icicles, freeze. Yeah, just hold your freeze, because they're not going anywhere. And I mean, in this situation it's useless because they've not got Lucio, but if they had a Lucio and your Lucio has already used speed boost, which he hasn't, this is your speed boost being used, but sometimes you reach this situation. Mei is really, really good for chasing down these targets because she can just stop them in their tracks, or she does stop them in their tracks. So more look towards like stopping them for your team to get the kills rather than trying to get the kills yourself sometimes, but you just get blown up by the Genji deflect, so that happens. That's a Genji deflect, somebody shot into it. I don't know if it was you, I don't think it was. Okay, Your team's just walking into their spawn, Jesus Christ. That's a stupid move from Loki. He deserved that. He fully deserved that. That's quite funny. Your team should be backing up. You've commit Bomb and Coalescence into this fight, and you're down 1 still. That's nice. Yeah. Oh my god, you did not deserve that. What you could do here is Blizzard. I mean, not now because you graved, but before the grav came off, you could have sat in this corner and Blizzard this room, because that's 3 of them split off. They're either split from their Reinhardt, who dies, or they get frozen and you pick them off. But instead, the fight's gone on, they've grabbed, and you've used High Noon, so now you're kind of stuck in a hard place. Blizzard being dropped, it's the only difference is because you've dropped it later, you had no threats for it to be deflected or eaten by anything. The Genji was dead, and they've got Zarya, so they've got no eat. So you could have dropped it down a little earlier, and then if you did drop it down earlier, the High Noon wouldn't have been used.
Yeah, so it's more just safer than all.
Yeah. And so, because you did use the High Noon, it didn't find anything, and so then you commit the Blizzard. So realistically, it's not your fault that he used High Noon, ever. It's never your fault. That's not your fault at all. He used High Noon. But it could have been avoided, him getting no value with High Noon. Again, of not relying on your teammates to do something for you. If you took the initiative and went, I can freeze them with Blizzard here, there's nothing to stop me, there's nothing to deny this Blizzard, drop the Blizzard in the room, you either kill the Reinhardt or kill the 3 of them. And either way, your team wins the fight without using the High Noon. It's just, I think that's just kind of a small thing, it's a situational thing as well, because obviously you're not always going to be met in this situation where they're running Zarya, Mercy, Ana, and you're splitting off the team. But if you end up in the middle of the team and there's nothing to stop you from putting Blizzard down, don't let it stop you from putting Blizzard down. Blizzard is really effective in the middle of a team, and it wins you fights. That is a terrible shatter, but it's such a massive ego shatter. You probably win this round, right? They can't touch, can they? They can't touch. That's it. Yeah. Oh, my mum's calling me. Give me a second.